Once again, happy Black Disabled History Month. It's February 9th, and today we'll be honoring Black disabled women. Now, most people don't put athletes in the same sentence as disability because they associate disability with inability and poor athletic skills. But that's not always the case. Specifically for tennis greats, the Williams sisters, Venus and Serena Williams. They broke records on the tennis courts by winning countless Grand Slams and Olympic gold medals in a sport dominated mostly by white women. They encountered racism, misogyny from opponents, media, judges, spectators, tennis fans, and the world. Their bodies and hair were scrutinized. As Black women athletes, they were stereotyped as aggressive and angry, though they were just kids and child prodigies at that, simply trying to make a name for themselves, live their dreams in a game and sport that they loved. Off the tennis court, they were privately dealing with disabilities that threatened to derail their careers. Their medical conditions didn't weaken their talent, but it strengthened the Williams sisters' tenacity and ambition. In 2011, Venus Williams was diagnosed with Sjogren's syndrome, which is an autoimmune disease that affects the thyroid, causes fatigue, inflammation of the organs, and joint pain. This caused Venus to pull out of the US Open in 2011. Like many women, she struggled for years to get a diagnosis. She says, unfortunately, that's typical of many people with autoimmune diseases. They're misdiagnosed, are too sick to function. I literally had professional tennis taken away from me before I got the right diagnosis. Her sister Serena struggled to be believed by medical professionals as well, after having 4 surgeries while giving birth to her first daughter and nearly dying. She experienced blood clots in the hospital, which she had a previous medical history of. When she informed a nurse and asked for a CAT scan and a heparin drip, she told her that she was acting crazy. The gaslighting Black women go through in medical systems is why Serena Williams saved her own life by advocating for herself, which prevented her from becoming a statistic, as Black women are 3 times more likely to die in childbirth than white women. As a disabled woman athlete with a history of blood clots, she was denied a reasonable accommodation at the French Open, where she wore a catsuit which prevents blood clots. She was condemned for disrespecting the game and violating the dress code. This was another example of how Black women's bodies are policed and seen as obscene and inappropriate in attire that was worn for her health and well-being. These unnecessary misogynistic and ableist barriers continue to persist in all sports. Regardless, Serena and Venus Williams rose above and are phenomenal women who personified Black girl magic and inspired the next generation of Black tennis stars and women of color like Naomi Osaka and Coco Gauff. Take a lesson from their book and push back against injustice through self-advocacy and sharing your disability story.